You might know this text. Sal, we got to go and never stop going till we get there. Where are we going, man? I don't know, but we got to go. So wrote Jack Kerouac in his oh-so-famous beat-style, deceptively spontaneous book, On the Road. Gotta go, or going, is also a way to interpret the name of this parsha this week, Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha, that going phrase, it's the name of the foundational portion of the Jewish experience, for it introduces the story of Abraham and Sarah and their journey towards the promised land. One might also claim that it's their road trip journey to their own promise. Now, I know that there are some who teach that the essence of being alive is our ability to move, to go forward, to look, to seek, to not stay in one place. Certainly in the Jewish experience, we know much, maybe too much, about the movement of our people. More often than not, our post-biblical journeys were not volitional like Sal Paradise's in On the Road. I will never forget sitting in my 4th grade elementary school classroom in Upland, California, a part of the Inland Empire you probably have never heard of, when at the time I was often the only Jew in the room. And hearing the teacher explain when asked there at Sierra Vista what kind of plant she had on her desk, her response was, well, it's called the Wandering Jew. I kind of thought she looked at me. I was a little shocked to hear that moniker for the first time, that not so subliminally pejorative name perhaps does articulate a part of our experience, where we've often been perceived as guests or the other in so many places in which we've tried to put down roots. We found ourselves only welcome temporarily, even if we might have dwelt in the place for centuries, in certain national homes, Poland, Iraq, Germany, Spain, to name a few. Have you ever traveled abroad and gone to the Jewish quarter and have the residents there say, well, we're not sure why the Jews left? It always amazes me. But the biblical story has a different kind of going forth. It's a going forth as an essential part of what Judaism longs to be. Abraham and Sarah are told to and agree to Lech Lecha, to go forth to a land that God will show them. It's a little bit like Kerouac's Where Are We Going? I don't know, because it doesn't say Canaan right away, but they felt that they gotta go. But this third part of the Torah, this third parsha, well, it's not the first to speak of such movement in search of something unknown. Adam and Eve, you might recall, are told that they must leave the garden and go and find themselves. Cain, after killing Abel, is punished to wander the earth with a mark on his head. Noah manages to bring a whole ecosystem or ship of biodiversity on an ark in search of a future that's not so chaotic as he journeys forward, not knowing where he will land. And then the people of Bavel, just before Abram is introduced, are scattered across the earth, their language mebubal, jumbled, as they are pushed by the holy to lech and go. So we're not the first wanderers in the biblical tradition, but there is something different about the search Abraham and Sarah are about to begin. Lech Lecha is different from Kerouac's Gotta Go. It's different from the wandering experience of later Jewish history in the diaspora. The rabbis of old, they drash it, the meforshim, they interpret it and they ponder. Some in this way, Lech Lecha is a journey into the self to find deeper meaning. Lech Lecha is a journey of promise, perhaps, seeking not only a land, but also a future of value for their followers. Lech Lecha is a journey that understood that life can be more than about our material well-being, our safety, our hopes, and our dreams, but risking to go forward to build a world of meaning in which that which we call God is part of the journey. The holy can help us to seek a life of blessing. So Rashi says Abraham is told to go forward for his benefit and for the benefit of others, to maybe help bring the holy more aware into the world. Perhaps that's the tension in all of our lives. Are we just going? Are we going for purpose? Do we understand the higher purpose of what our life can be? We may think it's fame or wealth or nobility, but it may simply be exemplifying the presence of the holy as we move forward in our lives by doing something as simple as being kind, giving our blessing to another, by working a little bit to change the world in the way we can. Maybe that's what it means to go forward, like Abraham and Sarah. I do worry that our culture today is so caught up with celebrity, with got you justice, with I'm right and you're wrong, is at the risk of too much, let's just get going, or let's give up, and not the Lech Lecha that we know we need to continue to journey towards, helping bring meaning and hope and seeing the holy in each other. Now, during this time of COVID, there's so many things we've not been able to do. I can't believe it's the first time I'm not wearing a mask on the Bima in a long time. I'm sorry that you still have to, but we want to stay safe. Well, another thing we've not been able to do is march the Torah up and down the aisles and around the sanctuary. And I realized how much I've missed that ritual act. The Torah going by and reaching out my talit and touching it or bringing it to you. Well, that act represents the reality of Moshe Rabbeinu receiving Torah from Sinai, but also then bringing it forward in the journey of the Jewish experience. That's our call to carry something forward with meaning. And I think Lech Lecha brilliantly teaches us, as the Torah has. When the Jews went all over the world, we took it with us. And we understood, even with challenge, we're parading forward a sense of blessing and values and hopes. And so when a bar bat mitzvah carries the Torah through the sanctuary, they're symbolically saying it's now part of our Lech Lecha journey too. The risk is letting it go. We always stand at that precipice when we're a bit disappointed. In a few more weeks, we'll read the story of Jacob when he thinks about departing it all. He sent his family forward to make peace with his brother. He's afraid to see him. He realizes he's the last one on the other side of the river, and it says that he wrestled with what? With an ish, with an angel, a being. There's a tradition that he wrestles with himself and who he should be, and then realizes, no, he's got to continue the journey of his grandparents and be on the journey of meaning and face the challenges in a challenging world. So here we are tonight, B'nai Yisrael, the descendants of all these people, those who've connected ourselves to the journey. We're not wandering Jews, but we are people choosing to Lech Lecha, to keep going forward with a sense of purpose. Let us understand our role and our honor in continuing that journey of hope towards blessing, towards promise for a better world, trying to pursue how to walk with it in our everyday. The holy is always calling you to continue that journey, to not be stuck in your life or go backwards, but keep going forwards, carrying forward your promise. So may we do. Shabbat Shalom.